to DIY Happy Home. My name is Carla, and today I'm doing a dollar store craft. I'm using dollar store pumpkins and a dollar store bucket and other items to create a very inexpensive craft that doesn't look like it comes from the dollar store. Let's get started. I purchased these pumpkins that are adorned with florals at the Dollar Tree. So each pumpkin was $1 each, and I decided to remove the florals, and I mixed some paint, some apple barrel paint in cobalt blue and yellow. And then to make it lighter, I added some Waverly chalk paint in white. And it's mostly cobalt blue with about 2 drops of yellow. And I wanted an heirloom pumpkin look. I was planning on doing one of these pumpkins. I have 3 total. So 1 in white, 1 in this shade, which is like a cement aqua. And then the other one is going to be a shade lighter than this cement aqua color. I wanted an ombre look where there's 3 different pumpkins with 3 different shades. So I'm going to paint these pumpkins, and I'll be back to show you what's next. Okay, next I got this flowers and garden tin or bucket at the Dollar Tree as well for $1. I thought it was really cute and I love the shape of it, so I'm painting over it with the Waverly chalk paint in white. I do like this paint because it has a very good coverage. It's really thick, it dries fast, and I thought it would be good to hide the flowers and garden. I'm hoping that it will. Some of this craft is trial and error, of course, but my plan is to paint this whole thing, let it dry, and I will be back to show you what is next. Okay, I got these scatters at the Dollar Tree as well. They were in a set of 5. Some are pumpkin shaped and some are gourd shaped. And my plan is to paint 2 in the darker cement aqua color, 2 in the lighter cement aqua color, and 1 in white. And so I will paint all 5 of these little scatters, and I'll be back. So here I have the lighter shade pumpkin, and I'm taking some of the darker shaded paint and I'm painting in the grooves of the pumpkin to give it a more of a 3-dimensional effect. And I'm going to be doing this with the white. I will use the lighter shade of cement aqua color, and with the lighter aqua color I'm using the darker aqua. And with the darker one, instead of me mixing more paint because I got lazy, I'm going to use the lighter shade within the grooves of the pumpkin. I am also going to be doing the same with the little scatters. I have the little scatter pumpkin here, and I am going to paint the dark paint in the grooves for a shadow effect. For the mini gourds, I am going to do the same thing. These don't have grooves per se, so I am just going to take the contrasting paint and paint lines down the gourds just like real gourds look. And for the white pumpkins, I am going to do the same thing in the grooves of the pumpkin. I am going to paint a contrasting color to create some shadow. And for the miniature gourd, I am going to use a thin brush to paint some lines on the miniature scatter. And because crafting is all about trial and error, I decided to make my shadows a little bit thinner. So I got a thin brush and went over some of the dark with some of the lighter paint so that my shadows were a little bit thinner. Here I am showing you one of the smaller, darker painted scatters where I am putting the lighter paint over top to make striping on the gourd. And I'm doing the same on the larger, darker pumpkin. I'm adding some lighter colored paint within the grooves of the pumpkin. Next, I decided to mix a darker shade of paint, a little bit darker than the cement aqua color, to use on the darker pumpkins as a shadow effect rather than using the lighter shade of paint. Again, this is trial and error crafting, but I think I will like how it looks better in the end. Next, I decided to dry brush with the white chalk paint. To dry brush, what I do is I put some on a paper plate very sparingly with a dry brush, blot it as much as you can, and then just quickly dust over each particular pumpkin or gourd. And I do like the effect that this is giving. It looks pretty cool. Next, I start to apply home decor antiquing wax. And to do this, I use a dry brush to apply it. And when you're first applying it, if you haven't done it before, just so you know, it looks kind of scary and it does look like you've ruined your project. But what you do is you get a damp paper towel or a damp cloth and you quickly wipe off a lot of it until you get the look you want. If you want it really aged, then you would obviously leave more on. If you want it less aged but want a certain look, you would just take a little bit off or a lot off. So in my case, I tried to take most of it off. I just wanted a look like the pumpkins and gourds were just picked in the yard. So that's, I wanted a realistic look on them. So I took a lot of it off and I did end up really liking the look that I got in the end. Next, I very carefully remove the center of each pumpkin so that I can add a stem. Then I hot glued the stem in. I did the same treatment to age the tin using a dry brush method with the folk art wax. And then I took one of these moss sheets from the Dollar Tree and with some store bags underneath to give it some height, I put the moss sheet on top and I'm hot gluing it in. And I'm testing out what arrangement I want for the pumpkins. And here's where I'm arranging some of the pieces, trying to figure out what I want to use. I have the 5 mini gourd scatters and 3 pumpkins, and I have some lamb's ear that I'm going to add for greenery. And I pretty much decide here that I only want to use 2 out of the 3 pumpkins in the arrangement itself, and one of the other pumpkins I will use off to the side. And next, I decide to add some Dollar Tree nautical rope to the top of the tin. I will adhere this using some hot glue. Next, I took some wood stems from the Dollar Tree. I took 4 of them that were similar in height, and I'm going to hot glue them to the bottom of the tin so that the arrangement will have some height. Next, I'm securing all of my decorations. The pumpkins, the lamb's ear, the mini gourds, and the mini pumpkins, all with some hot glue. And for the final step, I wanted to add this autumn greetings to the front of the tin. So what I did was I made autumn greetings with my Cricut. This is vinyl and it's on a Cricut transfer. And before I could transfer this, what I did have to do to get rid of the flowers and garden imprint on the bucket is paint a thick layer of chalk paint and allow it to dry. And then I got my transfer, the vinyl transfer here, put it down and apply pressure using a credit card to transfer the vinyl. If you did look close, you would see that it's still very white around the autumn greetings. So what I need to do is to get a dry brush and brush the antiquing around the autumn greetings to make it appear like the rest of the tin. And here's a look at the final project. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. The cost for all these Dollar Tree items was about $7 and change, minus using the paint that I already had and the lamb's ear that I'd already had. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. Thank you for tuning in today to see this beautiful autumn greetings arrangement completed by using only purchased items at the Dollar Tree. Please hit the subscribe button to my channel, DIY Happy Home, and please hit the bell next to the subscribe button to receive notifications. The Autumn Greetings decal will be available for purchase in my Etsy shop. Please see link in the comments.